I think as we all walked in this Sunday, we kind of got a sense that things are changing. We have an Advent wreath out, we have a pine in front of the altar, I'm sitting behind a forest, I feel like a hunter here. Things are a little different this Sunday. We have blue vestments on for the clergy, blue appointments in the sanctuary. There's a different tone in the music. And even the readings that the church gives us, there's change all around us today. We've started the 4-week time of preparation known as Advent, or as parents call it, how many days do I have till Christmas? But what are we really preparing for? And I think this question is the main question in our journey of faith. What are we preparing for? And Advent is a great time to stop and take stock of our lives and where we are in this journey. The readings that the church provides us for Advent asks us to prepare for two different things. The first, incidentally, is the second coming of Christ. The second thing happens first, the first coming of Christ. And we read in the readings that the second coming of Christ that we're going to know. There's going to be stars and the moon and the sun. The first coming of Christ might catch us off guard. An infant, wrapped in swaddling clothes. The interesting thing is that about being prepared is that we watch. And we should do the same for both. We should watch, we should be waiting, we should be ready. We should be living our lives the way that God has taught us to live them. The difference happens in what Christ asks of us. What does he ask of us as an infant? What does he ask of us as an adult? As an infant, lying in the feeding trough for animals, he asks of us what all infant children ask of adults: to be loved. As an adult, as he prepares for his passion and death, the order gets a little steeper. Love God. Love your neighbor as yourself. Might put some of us on edge. In this past week, in our own lives, we've done a lot of preparation. Last Sunday, the choir prepared an amazing musical repertoire for the Feast of Christ the King. This past Thursday, many of us prepared a feast, putting out turkey and all the trims and all the fixings. Coaches, lest I be remiss, prepared their football teams for rivalry week in college football. Some better than others. Some, crazy amongst us, might have even prepared shopping lists to go out and brave the storm for Black Friday. We've done a lot of preparation. I wonder how many of us actually prepared for the coming of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. How many of us went outside and looked for signs in the sun and the moon? In the larger world around us, one could easily make the claim that we're living in the end times. Terrorists, rogue nations are the topic of major news outlets. You can't turn on Channel 10 or Channel 4 without watching the doom and gloom of shootings, car crashes, and break-ins. And we as Christians can run the risk of running around with our heads bent down, wondering when Christ will come and call the righteous to himself. However, in the gospel today, Jesus tells us that when these things start to happen, to stand up, lift up your head. It's easy to fall in with the rest of the world, be prophets of death and destruction, of doom and gloom, run around like Chicken Little, claiming that the sky is falling. But we're called to be so much more. We're called to live in the world, but not be of the world. To not merely stand at the abyss and watch the world spiral out of control. We're called to roll up our sleeves, get dirty, be in the world to help the world. Be in the world to work on Christ's behalf to bring about the redemption of the world. So as we begin this season of Advent and preparation, let's keep our focus on what we're preparing for. Not the doom and gloom of a world in despair, but the joy of a wedding feast. The joy of a wedding between heaven and earth. The joy of the birth of a child who is to be our Redeemer. This infant child, wrapped in swaddling clothes, comes to us with his arms outstretched, embracing the world already. The world that he was sent to redeem. Let us go forth to be his arms in the world, taking his love to those in need.